It's all going off this morning. Good morning. Welcome to the channel. I'm Jack Porter. This is the Moto Mogul channel. Welcome along. So today, what are we up to? Well, today I am in fact taking these tyres out for the last time, because tomorrow they are being replaced. I've got on the Avon Trek Riders, which have been really good in the dry, in the wet, very confidence inspiring. However, I don't think 3,000 miles is long enough. 3,000 miles, that rear tyre is, well, it's beyond the last millimetre in the centre. So they've got to go, unfortunately. I was hoping to get a lot more than 3,000 miles out of a set of tyres, to be honest. The front one is, you know, it's less bad, but it is starting to chamfer off on some of the treads, and I don't think it would last the length of another rear tyre, so then I'd end up having to put another front on, you know, in between the rear being changed again. But 3,000 miles on a rear tyre really is, for me, it's a bit shit. So I've gone for the Michelin Anarchy Adventures this time. I don't know what you think of those tyres. I'm looking for a good all-rounder, basically. A 50-50 isn't really necessary for me. I just don't do off-road much at all, you know. I want to have the ability to be able to go and do the odd trail every now and again. Yeah, I'm really not that fussed about having a 50-50 tyre, because my off-road just isn't happening. It was an aspiration rather than Jesus. It's just I'll talk to you again once I've got across this junction. This is so yeah, you know, the off-road thing, it was pretty aspirational, I suppose. So what tyres do you get? That's the big question, isn't it? You know, if you're not going to be doing that off-road stuff, which it appears that I'm not. I will do some more trails. I definitely will do that. And I know what I said about the RS, you know, if you're not going to do off-roading, then buy the RS, don't buy the GS. I still stand by that, really. You know, if I didn't have these stupid aspirations to do off-road stuff, then the RS would be a perfect bike for me, I think. I love the look of it. I love the fact that there's not that many of them around, especially compared to the GS. I mean, you do see a lot of GSs around, don't you? And you know, the one thing I've learnt about that is the fact that there's a damn good reason for it, because the more I take this big girl out, the more I fall in love with her. Seriously, oh, such a good bike. And the other thing about it is, as well, I think this low version for me, it just suits me so well. I don't need anybody to tell me that, because I can feel it. I can feel it when I ride it. It suits me. It suits my, you know, my riding style, the balance of it, the fact that I can deal with it so much more easily than I could the Africa Twin. I'm so used to the quick shifter and blipper now. I know exactly when to use it and when not to use it, which makes it really smooth, really, you know, seamless. I still make mistakes with it, I still do, but the thing you have to remember with a quick shifter blipper, it's a performance part, isn't it? You know, it works best when the engine is, you know, performing, basically. So when you're giving it the beans, and when you're, you know, having, let's say, a spirited ride, that is when it comes into its own. But I am used to it, and I know when I can use it and when I can't use it, even at low speeds. You know, I keep using it now. It's such an easy bit of kit once you know what you're doing with it. But performance-wise, you know, that's when it works at its optimum, let's say. Yeah, and then it's just, oh man, it makes the bike so engaging. You wouldn't believe that you're riding, you know, this 265, I think they are, 265 kilo lump. You just wouldn't believe that you're riding this at all. It's that weight, the balance of it, the feel of the bike, everything is just superb. It is so good. And I know that I fought against the GS for such a long time, but I knew deep down that it is a winner. You know, it is a fantastic bike. And I did give the GS crowd a bit of stick, you know, with talking about old wonky cylinders. And it is a wonky cylindered big lump that shouldn't do what it does so well, but it does everything really really well. It's exceptional. And this Dynamic Pro is just freaking awesome. This is what makes you think that you're not actually riding such a big lump of a bike. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, anyway, I'll stop banging on about that. So the other thing that I wanted to talk about today was my drone. So got the top box on. We're going to take it out and give it a bit of a test fly over a field. I don't know whether it's going to let me fly around here, because there's a huge no-fly zone it's sort of not always active. I think it's mostly active at night time at the moment. After I crashed it into the tree, and then I tried to fly it when I went on the Northumberland ride, it refused to communicate properly with the phone, and when I flew it out over the estuary there to try and get some nice shots of the Humber Bridge, it just started screaming at me, and I had to bring it back in pretty sharpish before it fell into the drink, basically. So I mean, I spoke about it on the Northumberland rides, didn't I? You know, I haven't done anything to it, literally. It kept saying there was a problem with the gimbal, but I haven't done anything to it. And then I recharged everything the other day, flew it in the back garden, well, connected it first, and everything seemed to be communicating properly. And then I flew it in the back garden, seemed to be fine, no warnings, nothing coming up. Let it hover for a while. So now we're on to the next test, which is, you know, to test it over a field just to see how it performs. I am gutted actually, because they are such a good tyre, these Trek riders. Avon make really good tyres, but 3,000 miles, seriously. And I know, you know, she's a big heavy girl, and I ride her, well, I wouldn't say aggressively, but, you know, I like to have a bit of fun. And that does do for your back tyre, doesn't it, pretty rapidly. But I was hoping to get a bit more than 3,000. Now I've heard that the Anarchy Adventures 6,000 miles plus. If that's the case, I would be more than happy with that. I did toy with the idea of the Michelin Road 6, the Pilot Road 6. Even more expensive. That's the other thing, isn't it, with tyres at the moment, you know? To have these ones fitted, the Avon Trek riders, so purchased and fitted, 280 quid purchase price, 60 quid fitting price, really good fitter, my fitter. I don't begrudge paying Mark that money, because he comes out when you want him, and he slots you in, you know, he looks after you, he's a damn good lad. But yeah, it's 240 quid every time you want new tyres. Oh, that looks like the ideal spot actually. Let's go and turn around. It's a lot of money. Right.
Take off.
Absolutely perfect, nothing wrong with that, no problems there whatsoever. So let's get back out on the road. We'll talk a bit more about tyres and a bit more about where I'm going towards the end of June. I'm not going to the ABR, and we'll talk a little bit about that, but I'm going somewhere else instead now. So yeah, let's get back out onto the road and we'll discuss that. A bit more about tyres, a bit more about the drone, a bit about that shitty GoPro over there, and then yeah, see you in a minute. So ABR Festival, yeah, I'm not going to that this year. I did buy the ticket, I was going to go. Why am I not going? So I've got a bit of an issue going on. It's the same issue as last year, just something work-wise, and it's just an absolute pain in the ass, to be honest with you. It's I mean, I won't go into detail and bore you to tears with it, but anyway, it's affecting me quite a lot. It's affecting me quite badly, mental health wise, you know. It's just, and it's relentless. It's just relentless, as you know, people who've watched this channel for a while. Last spring, when I went up to that race course up north, this was going on then, and it's still going on now, and that's just ludicrous, and there's no end point in sight for it. So to cut a long story short, basically, I am not in a good frame of mind for going away with a bunch of people and having a really good time. I'm just not in the mood for that. When I bought the tickets last year, I was hoping this shit would have finished by then, but it just hasn't. It just carries on and carries on, because no one can seem to reach a conclusion as to when this should actually end, which is why there was no video this week. So sorry about that. Sorry to my Patreons. Sorry to everybody who enjoys my videos. Sometimes shit happens, doesn't it? And you can't always please everybody, and that's what has happened this time. So yeah, instead of going to the ABR, so Jesus Jason, who came with us to Pecos, who lives just down the road from me, we're going off to, it's difficult to know how to put this, it's like the forgotten corner of Scotland, unnoticed. People flash by it and it's unnoticed, and that is Dumfries and Galloway is where we're going to. It's like Scotland's best kept secret. People race past it going up, getting the other side of the cities, the big cities, to get into the Highlands, and that's fine. I've done that too, and I really didn't know about Dumfries and Galloway, but I have read a few things about the area, there was an article in one of the motorcycle, I think it was MCN actually. Let's turn that up a bit, just keep that wind noise down. So I think it was in MCN, they did an article where someone went up and rode the Galloway area, and it looked amazing in that, and what I read about it then just sounded absolutely fantastic. So going up there, doing the same as I did on the reset ride, which is 3 days 2 nights away with Jesus Jason, and I'm really looking forward to it. I asked on Twitter, so I know a lot of people don't get on with Twitter, but to be honest, the biking community on Twitter, I find them to be absolutely awesome people. They're just fantastic. I know some people don't get on with it because they get some, weirdos giving them stick or whatever, but I just don't get that on Twitter, and if I did, I'd just block them and move on. But I asked for good routes, places to visit, and the response I got was absolutely superb. It was absolutely superb, so thank you to you guys. If any of you are watching this, it blew me away actually. I didn't expect to get that sort of response, but people were just messaging me saying, yeah, you need to go here, pick up this route, go to this cafe, go to this town. Yeah, awesome, thank you, awesome. Now, I've heard about the Anarchy Adventures. Someone said they make a sort of a high-pitched screaming sound on tarmac at speed, at highway speeds on tarmac. You do get a lot of road noise from them. To be honest, it doesn't really bother me. I don't know, we'll find out tomorrow, because I'm having the tyres fitted tomorrow, and then when I've had them fitted, we'll go out on Roxy and give them a try out and see what I think. So what I love about this is when you're in Dynamic Pro, when you put a lot of bikes into sports mode, it makes them really snatchy and the throttling really snatchy. With this, you just don't get any of that at all. It's just so smooth. Now what's this twat doing now? Thick as pig shit. Oh, cheers mate, thank you. Cheers boss, thanks very much. I don't think I've ever been up this road, to be honest. Let's have a look up here. So yeah, very pleased with the drone. So hopefully now I'm not going to have any issues with it going up to Galloway, so I'll be able to do some drone footage in Galloway, which cheers me up no end, because it didn't want to know in Northampton, in Northumberland. Northampton, where did that come from? Holwell, I don't think I've ever been to Holwell. Nice little place. Quaint little village. Never even knew this place existed. I don't think I've ever been through here, and it's like less than 10 miles away from my house. A lovely place. It's great, isn't it? No sat nav, just trundle along. So let's just show you these tyres. We'll give it a bit of video-age. So they don't look too bad there, but when you look at how much they've gone down, that's below 1 mil now. That's shot, and look at that there. I've only just noticed that surface damage there. Look, yeah, they are cooked, aren't they? Yeah, a great tyre, the Trek Rider. They just don't last long enough. Oh, look at that. Look at that. It looks a bit shredded, doesn't it? There's a... Yeah, wow. They're far more damaged than I thought they were, to be honest. I don't know whether is that delamination or what. That's some serious hammer, that, isn't it? Oh yeah, look at that, through to the cord. Yeah, and that there is where I plugged it. Yeah, that tyre's shot. That's dead. Deader than corduroy. Let's have a look at this. So I have noticed this. So there are little tags where it's just started getting wrenched off, but the bit I was talking about, the chamfering, is happening around here. Look, I mean, they're much better than the rears, but you know, carrying such a lot of weight, I think they're both in need of change. Well, they're both getting changed anyway, but yeah, you see that there, look, those bits lifting up. What causes that, guys? There's going to be someone out there that knows what's happening there. It doesn't look good to me. That does not look good to me. Well, you know, I can't get any lower than that. Bit of a fanny, I know, but that was so I was dragging my foot. My toes were rubbing the ground on the foot peg, so it was micrometers away from grinding the foot peg there. So, you know, the tyres are really good. They are excellent tyres. They just don't last, unfortunately. And that was the last, well, this is the last ride out on these tyres. So they are spent. Well, hello again. Now, I only realised when I was editing the first part of this video this morning that the sound quality was pretty awful because of where I'd got the microphone. So I'm hoping that the sound quality today is a bit better because I've moved it. I can't even feel it now, don't even know where it is. Anyway, it's further down in the helmet rather than right slap bang under my nose. Anyway, that aside, we've got the new tyres on. So Mark, my fitter, has been today, changed the tyres. We've got the Michelin Anarchy Adventures on the beast. So I can't hear any road noise at the moment, but then the wind noise around the helmet, because it's quite breezy today, the wind noise is quite loud. So it's quite difficult to pick up any other sounds. But I can't actually hear anything. Nothing. All the way up to 72 miles an hour and I couldn't hear anything. I don't know what other people are complaining about when they talk about tyre noise. that was yet another successful drone flight and no problems. So yeah, I'm really pleased. I'm really pleased because you know, it's a lot of money to not work, you know, to have a problem with, isn't it? So I'm just really chuffed that it sorted itself out. I've literally done nothing to it at all. I haven't touched it. I just recharged everything the other day and everything seems to work fine. So yeah, really pleased with that. These tyres are, well, they're a little bit strange to get used to, but you know, just getting used to the characteristics of new tyres, I think it's always going to be the same, isn't it? So just tipping into bends just feels a little bit unusual at the moment, but I'm pretty certain they're going to be a good tyre. Yeah, well, once I get used to it, it's just the way you tip in. You know, you tip in and it just feels like it falls in a bit compared to the old my tyres that I've just had taken off. But I'm pretty certain I'll just get used to that and, you know, accommodate that sensation, that feeling, and I'll just get back to normal. So yeah, I'm going to finish this ride now and just enjoy it. I won't be filming the last bit now, so I just want to thank you guys for coming along and just listening to my blather for a while. So yeah, thanks very much. I'll see you on the next video. My name's been Jack Porter. This has been the Moto Mogul channel. I'll see you again soon, guys. Bye for now.